Welcome back to Still Standing, a Stoic Mindset. In the last episode, we talked about what Stoicism really is and what it's not. We talked about emotional discipline, inner strength, and why calm is power. Today, we're going deeper into one of the most important Stoic principles of all, control. Because most of our stress, frustration, and emotional exhaustion doesn't come from life itself. It comes from trying to control things that were never ours to control in the first place. The Stoics believe that life becomes lighter when we clearly separate two things, what is within our control and what is not. This idea comes from Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, who said that some things are up to us and some things are not. What's in your control? Your thoughts, your reactions, your choices, your values, your character. What's not in your control? Other people's behavior, their opinions, their emotional maturity, outcomes, timing. Most people suffer because they mix these two lists together. They try to control people instead of controlling themselves. They try to control outcomes instead of controlling their effort. They try to control perception instead of controlling character. Stoicism asks a simple but powerful question. Why are you exhausting yourself trying to manage what was never yours to manage? Let's make this real. Think about how often you've tried to change someone's behavior, make someone understand you, convince someone to treat you better, force clarity from someone who was inconsistent. That urge comes from a desire for control. But Stoicism teaches that behavior is information. You don't need to control people. You need to observe them. You don't control whether someone shows up for you. You control how you respond when they don't. You don't control whether someone respects your boundaries. You control whether you enforce them. And once you understand that, your power returns to you. Here's the hard part. Letting go of control feels uncomfortable because control gives the illusion of safety. We think, if I can manage this person, this outcome, this situation, I'll feel okay. But Stoicism reminds us that control over externals is fragile. It can disappear at any moment. Real security doesn't come from controlling life. It comes from trusting your ability to handle life. When you release control over things you can't change, you're not giving up. You're freeing yourself. You're saying, I trust myself enough to respond wisely no matter what happens. That's strength. Here's an important distinction Stoicism makes: control versus influence. You may influence situations with clear communication, consistent behavior, boundaries, but influence ends where control begins. You can communicate your needs, but you can't control how someone receives them. You can show up with integrity, but you can't control how others perceive you. Stoicism teaches you to do your part well and release attachment to the result. This is where peace lives. When you stop trying to control what isn't yours, something shifts. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing closure. You stop reacting emotionally. You start choosing distance over drama, observation over argument, calm over chaos. Your energy becomes intentional, and people notice, not because you announce it, but because your reactions change. That's Stoic power. Here's a simple Stoic practice you can use daily. When something triggers you, ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, act with intention. This one question can save you from unnecessary stress, emotional spirals, and regretful reactions. Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. Stoicism teaches us that peace isn't found by managing life, it's found by mastering ourselves. You don't need to control people to be powerful. You don't need to control outcomes to feel secure. You need clarity about where your responsibility ends. When you control your thoughts, your responses, and your character, everything else loses its grip on you. That's how you stay grounded. That's how you stay unbothered. That's how you remain still standing. Before we close, remember this: you are responsible for your inner world, not the outer one. In the next episode, we'll be talking about why silence is power and how restraint can speak louder than words. If today's episode resonated with you, make sure to follow and stay connected. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and all platforms at @dozafaye. Thank you for listening. Stay grounded, stay intentional, and remember, we're still standing.